Yeah, okay, great. So I'm going to talk about two parts of our work, which is economic democracy organizing. So this is like community organizing around economic democracy. And also some of the community-owned cooperatives that we support. So I'm going to spend 3 minutes doing that. Teresa's going to help me keep on time. The first, economic democracy organizing. There are a lot of folks in this city who understand the value of economic democracy and want to move towards creating that reality. And so we work to help organize, like that catch that? We work to help organize groups to do that. One of the ways we do that is co-op circles. Every other month we have a gathering of between 40 and 80 folks to talk about a specific component of the co-op ecosystem. We've done that in a number of ways. You're going to see some lovely pictures here of us doing that. Here's an example of some more organizing we do where we stood in solidarity with the striking workers at REI because we understand the connection between the cooperative economy and fighting for labor rights, particularly when those labor rights are at a consumer-owned co-op like REI, which needs to do better by its workers. Another example is the Ohio Co-op Solidarity Tour. Can you raise your hand and give me a shout if you were part of the Ohio Co-op Solidarity Tour? Yeah, a couple folks here. The Ohio Co-op Solidarity Tour was a statewide effort that brought about 45 folks on a bus from Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton, down to Cincinnati to visit co-ops. Along the way, about 250 people joined us to learn more about the co-ops that were happening, in those cities. It was a lot of fun. This was just in June. We've got a big poster around here. And here's a picture of the whole crew, 45 of us, 3 party buses, all over the state. We might do this again. So if you missed 2025, we might have a chance to join us for a tour the next year. The same crew visited Gem City Market, a worker and consumer-owned co-op in Dayton, Ohio, doing wonderful things. Then I want to talk about our community-owned co-ops. There are 2 community-owned co-ops that we support. One is the Central Kinsman Wellness Collaborative. Demetrius and Shannon and myself are part of a group that is trying to start a community-owned food store in the Central neighborhood, a zone of food apartheid. We've been at that work a long time. Along with many other folks. It's a big vision. It's something that has needed to happen a long time ago. There is supermarket redlining that is keeping affordable and fresh food out of the Central neighborhood. And we need to directly address that, and we think community ownership is one of the ways we can do that. A second community-owned co-op that we support is called the Power Up Purchasing Co-op. The Power Up Purchasing Co-op is about 50 different nonprofits around the area who combine their spending power to buy things in bulk. So that includes many of the houses of worship that you've heard of, Olivet Institutional Baptist Church, Fairmount Presbyterian is here in the house, Northwest Neighborhoods just up the street, a big CDC that owns 350 units of affordable housing. They spend a lot of money, and when you add that money up, there is real power together. And so we're combining that power through what we call Power Up, which is a purchasing co-op owned by those exact institutions. And we are sort of, Cleveland Owns helped start that 5 years ago. We are currently acting as sort of the interim executive director, if you will. We also have a permanent seat on the board. That's a co-op project that we're really proud to see thrive, that we've been really proud to support for the past couple years. I think I'll stop there. Okay. Who's next? Okay, here's Craig to talk about our energy democracy.
All right. Hey everyone, I'm Craig. I'm the Energy Democracy Organizer. I'm loving the collages. I feel like I'm a kid talking about a science project in front of the class. And so I chose to put, but when I'm out in churches, when I'm out in community rooms and backyards talking about energy democracy, I often start up the conversation with a checking question that is, what gives you energy? And people don't say electricity, right? They don't say solar, and they certainly don't say time of use rates. People talk about a lot of things, right? Like, people talk about how proud they are for their nephew to be the first one in their family to graduate, and that's what's getting them out of bed every day. They talk about their faith in God and the Lord, right? And they talk about the joy that cooking dinner does for their children, right? And seeing the joy in their faces when they have a hot meal at the end of the day. And what I hear is that it's about care, it's about love, and it's the people in their lives. And people are at the center of our work at Cleveland Owns. And at the center of energy democracy. Because energy democracy is about having our communities get what they need in the energy system. And what our communities need is reliable energy to keep our food and medicine cold, and keep our homes warm in the winter. What we don't need are investor-owned utilities like First Energy, who are owned and controlled by billionaires and oligarchs, who have the audacity to raise our rates after getting caught red-handed in the largest bribery scandal in Ohio history. Yeah, this is how I know I'm doing my work right, when I say First Energy and people start voting. And right now when we talk about the energy system, it's about the profits of those few, right? Not the needs of the many. And that's why here at Cleveland Owns, we're building the economic, political, and people power necessary to change this system. This past year, we've talked with hundreds of residents about how this system works and how we can change it from the ground up. We've mobilized dozens of people to make their voices heard for community solar in Columbus. And we held a 6-week course called Solar School. Hey, Ayah, my co-facilitator. Give Ayah a round of applause. To deepen our community's knowledge about how to develop and build community-owned solar. And just this week, we helped Cleveland Solar Cooperative sign its first power purchase agreement with Lakeside Bible Church. This is the important contract that is going to pave the way for Ohio's first community-owned solar array, but certainly not its last. And I'm immensely proud to work here at Cleveland Owns and get to do my small part to build a Cleveland that puts our planet and our people first. So.
Wow, that is going to be a hard one to follow. My collage here is much more. Hello. Much more of an update, programmatic update, on an annual cadence. But yes, hello again. I'm Bogdan, and I'm fortunate enough to be the Cooperative Workplaces organizer at Cleveland Owns. I think that the past 12 months have been a really exciting time for our Cooperative Workplaces program. Through this program, we support new worker and community-owned cooperative businesses to get started through education, coaching, and non-extractive lending. Cooperative ownership and decision-making allows workers and communities to create workplaces that are more equitable, resilient, and responsible. You can see over here. Co-op U is our incubation program that helps teams of 2 or more people start co-ops through a 16-week hands-on approach. Last fall, we ran our second cohort of Co-op U in collaboration with Co-op Cincy. We have Ellen and Flecker in the house from Co-op Cincy. Yes. Thank you. That was perfect timing. Through which we graduated 3 Cleveland teams at Dolphin Tank in November. Dolphin Tank is our post-capitalist alternative to Shark Tank. Can you raise your hands if you were a Dolphin Tank last November? Yay! You in the crowd? Yes, we celebrated. At Rust Belt Riders, we have pictures right here of some of the teams that presented. Our judge, Deborah. This was the program. It was virtual last year. Our program for this year just started 2 weeks ago. We have 7 teams participating. Do we have anyone from a team here? We have Najah. We have Beth back there. Yes. Oh, I see Jackie. Yes. Okay, we have some of our Co-op U participants. In total in this Co-op U, we have 25 people in 7 teams. That's a lot of co-op founders. To accommodate this growth and add a new level of interactivity to the program, this year we're running the program on our own and in person in Cleveland. This has involved recruiting an additional co-facilitator, Zoe Appisdorf from Rust Belt Riders, who wasn't able to make it today, but has been an incredible co-facilitator with me. And this has been a major undertaking to get it ready for this many teams and locally for the first time. We invite you to join us for our second annual Dolphin Tank on December 4th of this year to meet the teams when they graduate the program and are ready to share their co-ops with the world. You can sign up at our website, clevelandowns.coop. We've also continued to support new and existing co-ops with coaching and non-extractive lending. We've continued to support Russell Riders, the 11-year-old worker-owned composting co-op. This year, in addition to administering the non-extractive lending we've previously made, we facilitated a workshop to share Cleveland Owns homegrown developmental feedback process, through which our staff regularly shares feedback with each other to support growth and alignment. Excitingly, we welcomed a new co-op into our ecosystem, Study Buddies, a pet grooming co-op in Massillon that opened its doors in April. We've been working with them to write their first set of cooperative bylaws and apply for a non-extractive loan from our Cleveland Co-op Fund. And lastly, we've continued to work with People's Plumbing, which launched in Cleveland in late 2023. We've seen them welcome 2 new workers this year and have helped them secure a loan from a community member, which helped them purchase their first work van. Of course, please think of these co-ops for future composting, pet grooming, and plumbing needs. We're excited for what's to come in this area. We're excited for what's to come in this area, and I'm also so excited for what's been cooking with our cooperative housing work, for which I'll pass it on to prerna.
I'm the co-op housing organizer here at Cleveland Owns. I'm really excited to be here today. Last year we did not have this bucket of focus. I was not part of this team, so it's been a really exciting. I wonder why it's. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, I'm leaving. So yeah, this is a really, really exciting new bucket of work that we get to do. Co-op housing is community controlled and governed housing. So that is any type of housing structure that is collectively owned and collectively stewarded, whether that's like garden style apartments, a big apartment building, a residential neighborhood. And I get the extreme privilege of getting to share, document, and organize folks to live cooperatively. So we got to start this work last July with the co-op housing co-op circle, where we talked a lot about what community land trusts are, what different options for community controlled housing look like. And then we got to open up with this brand new co-op housing study group. So we've had over 75 people participate in some way in one of the 2 cohorts that I've gotten to run now on our co-op housing study group, which is really, really exciting. Can I get a big round of applause for everyone who's participating in those? Also had the extreme pleasure of just getting to document and share with folks that this is real. It exists. There are folks that live cooperatively. We're not just college students, like taking care of each other, but genuinely people invested in building alternative systems of community control and autonomy. So it's really such a pleasure to get to do this work. Right now we're doing different projects that come into organizing multifamily housing structures and organizing co-op conversions, because ultimately rent is too high. We deserve the capacity to live autonomously and control the day-to-day realities of our lives. That's a big part of what we're hoping to build here with Cleveland Owns, these autonomous structures of community control and agency. So with that, I'll also say that we have a listserv, and I send out a monthly newsletter if you're ever interested in hearing more about what's going on, opportunities, or connecting with other folks. There's hundreds of folks across the city who are really, really passionate about building alternative structures of community. And so I'm really excited to get to share and celebrate that with all of you today. And I'll pass it to the newest member of our team, who I'm so excited to have the pleasure of working with, Najah.
Hey y'all, I'm Najah. So you all were very active, very engaged when in 2023 with Issue 13. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You gotta just turn a little.
Turn?
Yeah, turn.
Okay. So you all were very helpful, very supportive, and you probably want to know what has become of PBC. That's the People's Budget Clean. And been going on this year with the people's budget. We hired me. And right before I got here, we had a neighborhood selection committee. They put out nominations. They received nominations from all over the city of Cleveland, all of the neighborhoods. But we narrowed down to 2 neighborhoods. That was Lisaville and Slavic Village. For me, both of those were neighborhoods I considered way across town. So I knew either way I would be learning a lot. But we did narrow down and select Slavic Village as our neighborhood. So you can see on the poster some of the cool pictures from the neighborhood meetings that we had. So let me go back a little bit and just explain a people's budget. That's a democratic process where members of the community directly decide how to spend a portion of a budget, giving them real power over real money to address real local needs. So you should know by now, like I said, our pilot project, our pilot hood is going to be Slavic Village, and we are literally just getting started in Slavic Village. So the next thing we'll be doing is creating a steering committee. We're currently working with neighbors in Slavic Village now to figure out how to make that a very inclusive committee of neighbors. And then that steering committee will lead their neighbors in sharing and coming up with ideas, developing proposals from those ideas, eventually helping the entire neighborhood vote on those ideas, and then implementing those ideas. So this will be a year-long process and, of course, a learning experience. So I'm asking you all to stay plugged in with Cleveland Owns and PV Cle. And when there's a call for support and volunteers, or even just a chat to share your wisdom with me or with the rest of the team, please be open. Because don't forget, we're planting seeds that could support us taking this beyond Slavic Village and citywide. Okay.